Riverside.
Hello, and welcome back to the Sad Fan, where we talk about the good, the bad, and everything that made you sad from the previous week in sports. And for some reason, my co-host, minus his sister, will not allow me to get the show off the ground this morning because he is an agent of chaos. And
an idiot.
he just doesn't want to talk about anything but Ohio State football because he is no longer.
You're the one who keeps bringing it up. I want to talk about Oregon. I want to talk about the Seahawks. I want to talk about I want to talk about the Ducks. I want to talk about the Seahawks because I am not sad. This week was amazing. Seahawks were rocking the throwbacks. They looked amazing. They beat the Browns. It should have been a blowout. Unfortunately, it wasn't. But they still.
The Browns have a great defense.
They do have a good defense.
They should go to the Super Bowl, according to you.
And the Ducks had the best game. I'm not done. I'm not done. Okay, I'm not
should
done.
Make the championship.
Stop trying to derail me. Okay, stop trying to take me off my throne. All right, the Ducks
every team with
competed against Utah.
Utah,
the one team that has given us so many fits over the last several years. We dismantled them in their stadium. The stadium that everyone talks about. Oh, Utah Stadium is so hard to beat.
You're a Husky,
and I will give it to you. Mighty Utah Student Section, I think is their acronym. They are a loud bunch, and it is a hard place to win, but we dismantled them. So, you know what? I'm happy. Nothing you can say can bring me down. I'm sorry your Raiders. I'm sorry your Raiders are trash. I'm sorry you guys suck. I'm sorry Josh McDaniels is a failing head coach.
No one's trying to bring you down. In fact, no one's arguing.
It sure seems like you are. You keep trying to derail me. You keep trying to derail my happiness here.
Oh, keep going. Is there more?
I'm good now. No, I said all I need to say.
So you're not being derailed anymore? You finished? You had a good
I'm
minute?
Good. You can go on. You can go on now.
You had a strong 1 minute in you?
Now that you're finally shutting up.
You had a good 1 minute? That was what you had for us this morning that you were being derailed off of?
What do you got? What makes you sad?
So...
Everything? You're the one who created the sad fan.
So anyway...
What makes you sad?
In the production meeting, we're working, and Wes is determined to have Ohio State be the best team ever. Wes is determined to say that defense...
I like how you move the goalposts. Best team ever? I'm saying they're a top 10 team, and you're like, no, they're trash.
You're saying they're a top 4 team.
I'll give them top 5. I'll say yeah, they're a top 5.
You're just gonna just.
No, I'll say it. They're a top 5 team. Everything. But best team ever? Oh, best team ever. No, you want to know the best team ever? That's probably going to be Alabama. Okay, because they've had the most freaking dominant dynasty ever in college football history the last 15 years.
Ever, yeah, you're probably right. Anyway, I thought you were referring to this season. I was like, I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs this year.
No, probably not, unless they beat Georgia.
But we could look at them and say, yeah, they're probably a pretty good football team, right? We can watch their game. Yeah. Watch an Ohio State game, and I defy you to say that Alabama wouldn't crush them.
So I actually think that would be a really good game because Alabama played like trash against USF, but you're still saying they're a good team.
Well, I do hope that we see Alabama play Ohio State in the Bermuda Bowl because eventually Ohio State's not going to be in the playoff because Ohio State's not good. Ohio State's not a good team.
If they lose to Michigan, they probably will not be in the playoff.
When they have a good schedule...
They're still going to be in a New Year's Six game, and they're still going to give whoever they play against a really tough game.
Probably,
and they're going to be like, wow, okay, they're a really good team. No, Rose Bowl is a playoff game this year. Pay attention.
Oh, okay. So, we've got Ohio State that Wes thinks is fantastic and one of the best teams in all the land. Ohio State has looked terrible in every game, even the ones they've won in blowouts. Even against Western Kentucky, Ohio State has looked god-awful. They beat Western Kentucky by almost 50 points.
How much Ohio State have you watched this year?
Very nearly every game, except for the Western Kentucky game, which was the blowout.
Here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of people.
You didn't think so? What? I don't think
you have. I think you're making that up so you don't look as dumb.
No, I watched them play Indiana. I watched them obviously just play against Penn State like everybody did. I
You're in
watched
the
them
UK.
play against Youngstown. I
You
watched them
watch
play
different
against
football.
Maryland.
You watch
I've
football clubs. You watch football clubs, okay?
I
You're
just
watching like
watched
Wrexham FC.
I just told you.
So here's the thing. All
You're
these
like,
people.
what you said doesn't matter. Hold on, I need to make
It
a
really
point.
doesn't, because all these
I
people,
have a point to make.
the AP writers,
Yeah.
the college football playoff committee, yes, people can be stupid, but the thing is, everyone is consensus with them being like 1 through 3, and those people have been watching all of their games.
Do you mean the AP writers that always put the SEC in the championship because they're lazy? Shut up. Anyway,
AP doesn't do that, but okay.
they're lazy. They're lazy. The coaches' polls are lazy. The BCS was lazy. Sorry, this rating this sport.
So
is lazy.
it should just be Fry.
Being lazy.
Fry is the almighty who dictates who is the top 4.
No, if you listen to a majority,
No Ohio State.
If you listen to a majority of pundits out there that are talking about these games and about this team, everybody knows. Watching them, you can tell they're a bad team. They don't have a good quarterback.
Okay,
They
so
don't
I have
a good
homework for
offensive
you.
Line. They don't have a good defense, really. They have a decent defense, right? But they do have Marvin Harrison Jr., who can put up 150 yards a game. He's being used like a running back because they don't have anything else. Also, they're severely hurt at running back. They have a decent running back, but they've been hurt all year.
I agree with that. But here, I have some homework for you. I want you to tweet at all of these pundits and ask. I want you to ask them where you think they should rank Ohio State, where Ohio State should be ranked, and they'll tell you all of them into the top 10.
Yeah, you keep going from top 5 to top 10. They probably should be in the top 10. Oregon State with 2 losses is still 17. They're just not a good team. That's what I'm telling you.
So you're
saying argue that. I'm sorry, but
every team
that makes you a good team.
Wins are wins. Wins is how you do it. Every team in the top 25 is a good team. You get a lot of credit for being a team in the top 25. How many teams are there? 130 or something?
In the top 25 is a good team.
I'm sorry, the top 20% is good, okay? So if you take all 130 teams, the middle is going to be average. Anybody better than the average is going to be
anyone in the top
good in some sort.
Can just be a bad team that's winning some games?
Anyone in the top 25.
So Air Force. Air Force is one of the best
Anyone
teams.
in the top 25 at this point in the season, preseason, early season doesn't really matter.
So
because that's a completely different beast. We're 8 games in.
Okay,
we're 8 games in.
No, I love your point here. Let's take Air Force. They're top 25. So are they still top 25 in their pack? If they're in the pack?
If they're in the pack? Yeah, I actually think that they're probably... I'm not saying they're going to be ranked in the top 25.
Are they ranked in the top 25?
But I would say they probably have a winning record in the pack right now.
Are they okay? Are they ranked in the top 25 if they're in the Big Ten?
No, but same goes. I think they have a winning record.
Are they ranked in the top 25? No, they don't. Not in the Big Ten. Are they ranked in the top 25 if they are in the SEC?
No. The same goes for everything.
To say, they're a fun story, Wes, and you said this yesterday. You said this last week. I wish we did the show every day because we could have done this for a week. Anyway, you said this last week. All right,
they're still a good team.
That you love stories, and that's coming out in your analysis. Like you want the story. That's what you want. You don't want to sit back and be like, I get it. I'm skeptic, and
you're moving the goalpost here, though.
No,
because we're talking about Ohio State, who is in the Big Ten. You're saying, what if Air Force was in the Big Ten? Ohio State is in the Big Ten, and they are undefeated. You literally asked me, okay, what if Air Force was in the Big Ten? Would they be top 25? Guess what? Ohio State is in the Big Ten, and they are undefeated.
You said every team
at this point in the top 25, that's good. Yes,
is good. However, that's not the case. They're a victim of circumstance.
No, they're good.
That's all it is.
Air Force is good. I still stand by that.
I know.
Now, would they be in the top 25 right now? No, because they probably have 3 losses right now.
They are.
If they were in the Big Ten,
they're fun. And it's a fun story, but they're not a good football team.
They would probably have like 3 losses right now in the Big Ten or the Pac-12 or the SEC.
Like who they've played against, yeah,
they would be 5-3. They would be 5-3, and that's not good enough to be ranked right now. But it's still a good team.
It's fun to watch them. They're a fun story. I agree with that. But you cannot confuse your analysis with your feelings. You feel
I don't
that they're good because they haven't lost, which is not a metric.
You feel that Ohio State sucks because
I've
My
watched them,
eyeballs.
and they
My
don't look good.
eyeballs. My eyeballs. My field. My eyes.
You're putting a little too much. I don't like how much emphasis you're putting on the word balls when you say eyeballs. All right, you're getting a little too heavy on the balls.
Okay, now you're just no. Let's keep it PG here, okay? Jesus.
No, I
Jesus
didn't like what was that? Why did you choose? Why did you put the emphasis on the eye? Why did you choose the eye? Was that
my eyeballs? My eyeballs. What am I supposed to say? My eyeballs. Eyeballs.
Yeah, there you go.
No.
I like that one. That one's a little bit better.
Eyeballs.
But yeah, Ohio State in every game
I'm watching you. I'm watching you, okay? My name's Connor. I'm watching you.
I guess it is still Halloween in the United States, huh? All that aside, at the end of the day, I think we're both right that Ohio State won't be in the playoff because they're probably going to lose to Michigan because Michigan is stealing signs. And I don't know how deep this goes, but now did you hear why the FBI got involved? Did you read that story?
Well, that was an assistant coach. A completely unrelated matter.
So did you see why, though?
Well, because the coach is being accused of computer crimes. So illegally accessing a computer network, I think.
Yeah, other teams' computer networks.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, and he was doing it from inside a Michigan library or something. Or like a Michigan auditorium.
See, but who actually said that? Where'd you hear that? There's so many rumors going around right now. It's stupid because you have. Well, so here's what's going on. You have Michigan State. You have Ohio State fans that are all trying to kick off rumors. Like there's one going on right now that Connor Stallion dressed up as a Central Michigan assistant, and he was on the sideline right now because it was some white dude with the goatee. It's like how many white dudes with a goatee are in college football? There's 10 of those on each problem or on each program.
Going on because internet, because the internet exists. All this stuff will happen. But here's what I think you're gonna laugh at. Do you know what Michigan was also doing with this side stealing? They were selling their information to other teams that could help their cause in making it to the playoffs. So they were selling. They were selling information to teams that were playing against other teams that can make the college football playoff, in hopes that these teams would utilize this information to beat the team that was holding them back or that was ranked ahead of them.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah, I find that fascinating. And I was like,
see, okay, I don't believe that either.
How deep does this rabbit hole go?
Why would you sell that to other teams? So I mean, I don't know where you heard that because trust me, I've been reading everything, even though it's aggravated me to no point. I haven't heard that. So this was I think you're just making stuff up.
No. This was said on the Lebitard show on yesterday's episode, hour 2.
That guy's an idiot. That's right. I call their competition an idiot. I don't care. My
favorite thing is if someone does not agree with you, you're like, idiot.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
How could you not agree with me, the Great West?
Yeah, Westradamus. Okay, I called the Lions. Thank you. You're welcome.
I'm actually still in the same boat as I was in last week when we talked about this. I don't care. I think everybody's doing it. I think everybody's doing this. I think that everybody has the equal opportunity to steal signs.
They just need to start doing comms in the headset. Get into the 21st century already.
Yeah,
this wouldn't be a problem.
No more billboards, right? And then the NFL came out and said the NFL will not be a safe haven for Harbaugh, which was dumb. Because yes, it will. If he decides
Michigan's trying to give him a contract extension right now.
Yeah, they're just going to wait till after this blows over, is what it looks like. Or until after the championship. Because here's the thing. NCAA just needs some power. This is an easy one to get behind right now because everybody's like, you can't do this. This is stealing. So this is the one way that the NCAA can look good again, right? Because they can't really do shit else. They're terrible. But if they suspend Harbaugh, I think a lot of people would get behind that in the college football world.
Well, you know what's going to happen? They're going to suspend Harbaugh during the offseason, and he's just going to be suspended for the first 4 or 5 games, which are probably going to be cakewalks. So, whatever.
I just don't think anything's going to come of this. I don't really care about this. But let's talk about your Seahawks. Right? We don't have to stew on Michigan because we both agree this is the dumbest thing ever and that every team's just mad that they didn't think of it first. Just like deflating footballs.
I will say the throwback uniforms across the NFL, now that they have the secondary helmets, is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it going. I bought tons of Seahawks throwback merch. I was like, buying it all.
Yeah, you did text me in the middle of the game. I'm about to go $200 deep on merchandise.
Yeah.
They got you, huh? They got you with the throwback.
Easy.
They sucked you in.
Take my money. Take my money.
I mean, it is the only reason they exist, but especially now with technology, like they don't look like they used to. These uniforms look dope when they release these throwbacks.
I think what they should do is they should really just lean into the throwbacks. They should make everyone wear the big bulky pads and like the big ass jerseys that don't fit, and they're just flowing all over the place.
There was a linebacker by the name of Brian Cox. Do you remember that name, Brian Cox?
Yeah.
He used to wear the big old neck roll on the back. Remember that neck roll on the back?
Just sticking out to here.
Yeah.
Like, how are you supposed to tackle him with that horse collar?
That was terrifying. That neck roll was terrifying. Right, and they have advanced the neck roll. Now they have like a pad that goes in the back of your shoulder pads that kind of bends back like a neck almost, but it's a hard plastic pad now. It's no longer that little roll that goes around. So yeah, those neck pads. I used to think those guys were terrifying. The big old shoulders and giants. Yeah,
when really it was just like some 5'10", 160-pound skinny dude in there.
But they look diesel. Yeah, they look diesel out there, just with wearing all those neck rolls and giant shoulder pads and elbow pads and all that stuff. But you needed it back then. Now we have technology, so that helps. And
high density foam
and insane speed. One thing you and I were talking about yesterday as well, or yesterday over the weekend, was the refereeing has been god awful in the NFL this year.
Every game I watched, it was like just flag after flag after flag. Like I don't even want to get into the Seahawks game because I know I'm just going to sound like a homer, which I probably am.
Right back. No,
I probably am. Like there was a lot of calls. It was like third down. We stopped him on third down. It would have been like 4th and 10, but they're like legal hands to the face, and it's like he nicked the bottom of his like the mouth guard or whatever, and just like nicked it. And it's like illegal hands to the face. It's like, that's the weakest call I've ever seen. Yeah. I mean, granted, there were missed calls on both sides, but some of that crap, I was just like, shut up.
Yeah, what is happening?
Can we go back to the replacement refs? At least they favored the Seahawks.
I still remember the game that the Packers beat the Seahawks in.
Seahawks beat the Packers, you mean?
In that season, yes. And then the following season, because after that game, Russell Wilson was like, you got to thank God for this one. And he did his whole spiel. And then the next year, the Packers beat the Seahawks, right? And Aaron Rodgers goes, and not that I support this human being in any way anymore, but Aaron Rodgers goes, I guess God was a Packers fan today. That was one of my favorite lines from a press conference like ever. Because I do think we say things as athletes that are just, come on, like enough already. And Russell Wilson's cornball. Like
Russell Wilson is the biggest perpetrator of that.
Yeah.
Him and Tebow just like, shut up. Stop it.
Broncos, let's ride.
Broncos country, let's ride. Let me do a little air guitar in my commercial.
Such a
Alaska Airlines, we're awesome. Yeah.
He also said that water cures concussions. There's a lot of things going on with Russell
Wilson.
His
magic water, yeah.
There's a lot going on with Russell Wilson. But at the end of the day, you're right. Your Seahawks are 5-2, and they've got a really, really, really big game coming on.
Number one
this weekend
in the division.
Yeah.
Like, we got it coming up against the the Ravens.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on our future schedule because we have
one of the toughest schedules left in the NFL, right?
So Thanksgiving we have the 49ers, and then after that it's Cowboys, 49ers, Eagles.
Mm-hmm. It's tough. Murderer's Row. And the 49ers made a big trade this weekend. They traded for Chase Young, which I was like, well, that's just not fair. They've already got a crazy defensive line. Their defensive line is already nuts. And they just added Chase Young. So now they've got Chase Young and Bosa on each side.
Yeah, and we're away for this game. So East Coast, 10 a.m. start.
Yeah.
It's because I could easily see us going like 500 down the stretch with our schedule. Mm-hmm. It's tough.
But 500 gets you into the playoffs this year, I think. Because
if we go 500 from here on out.
Yeah. Yeah, 49ers are all of a sudden struggling. Rams, they've fallen apart ever since the Super Bowl. Like, it's been really bad. It's, I don't know if it's Stafford. I don't know if it's their defense. but the Rams have been bad. Cardinals are a dumpster fire. Cardinals just traded away their current starting quarterback. Did you see that? They traded Josh Dobbs to the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like one of the first big trades of the day.
Is Kyler Murray coming back? Is he healthy?
So he was a healthy scratch last week, so he's already back. They just didn't play him. Mm-hmm. But I don't think they should play him at all because I think that'll hurt his trade value. I think they should keep him on the bench. And I think they traded Josh Dobbs. You ready for this conspiracy theory?
It's a tank?
Because he was too good. Josh Dobbs is playing too well. Even though they're 1-7, right? Even though they're 1-7, Josh Dobbs was just a little too good. He kept him in a few too many games for the Cardinals' liking. And they're like, okay, Caleb Williams, are you really going to stay out of the draft if we have the number 1 pick? Because we're going to test this theory right now by really tanking. I
don't think they want Caleb Williams right now. I don't think anyone wants Caleb Williams right now. He sucks.
Everybody still wants him, man. Everybody still wants him because
he's going to be a bust. Jamarcus Russell 2.0.
The upside is too good. I think he's Kyler Murray. I think he's another Kyler Murray. I do. I think he's another Lincoln Riley project that Lincoln Riley has made look really, really good.
Another mediocre-ass quarterback.
I think he's going to be that guy. I don't think he's really dedicated to the game. I think he's got all these NIL deals because he looks good in games against teams that don't matter.
I think UW wins by 2 touchdowns and USC falls out of the rankings for when we play them. USC takes their 4th loss. I don't think it really matters much.
Yeah.
The only thing that matters is we went out and then we kick the crap out of UW in the championship game and go to the playoffs.
You're going to beat the crap out of them. I think it's going to be another shootout, another good game. But I don't think anyone's going to complain. I think everyone wants to see Bo Nix and Penix.
Bo Nix versus Penix. Who's the better Nix?
Well,
I think one of those two wins the Heisman. One of those two wins the Heisman.
Bo Nix did look great against Utah's defense. And I had to eat crow on that, even though he's, card-carrying member of the AARP of college football. I did have to
Most starts ever.
On that
Most starts ever. It's great.
I know. It's who has second most starts ever?
Penix?
No, Sam Hartman at Notre Dame.
Oh,
so the two of them are just going to go back and forth. So when Oregon has a bye week,
good for them for continuing their education and improving their draft stock. Okay.
To quote Tommy Boy, a lot of people go to college for 8 years. Yeah, they're called doctors.
This is his 5th year.
We have breaking news out of Las Vegas. We have breaking news on the TheSadFan out of Las Vegas.
Bro, my
Here
ears.
It goes. The Raiders have fired Josh McDaniels as of right now. Josh McDaniels has been fired.
Whoa.
General Manager Dave Ziegler has been removed. Dear Raider Nation, I almost cursed. I told you. I told you. I told you. I told you. I told you all of last year. I told you all of this year that they were trash. And you told me I wasn't a good fan. You told me I didn't have faith. And I was right. The whole time. And I kept my mouth shut for most of the season.
Shefty broke it.
Yeah. I was not. I
thought you said we weren't going to talk about the Raiders.
I wasn't, but now I'm happy because finally they did the right thing. And I'm also like, this is such a victory lap for me against Raider Nation. I had so many people fighting me on this. And you know what? I know my stuff. I knew it was going to happen.
Well, so here's the thing.
He was going to make it through one more year, but you did say in the production meeting, hey, you were just doing that for content. You didn't really think you were going to make it through the year.
I thought he would make it through the end of the year. I didn't think they'd fire him less than halfway through. But how long did he last at the Broncos?
A year and a half, I think. I think the same amount of time.
I mean, he's done.
He's done.
He'll be a fine coordinator. For
the rest of his career. He's never going to be a head coach again.
No, I don't think so. No one's going to give him a third chance.
He destroyed a team that... So, when he took over the team, they had just made the playoffs.
Yeah.
And probably should have beat the Bengals in the playoffs. And, no, remember, there was the inadvertent whistle. No, you forget. There was the inadvertent whistle that led to a touchdown. They blew the play dead. Joe Burrow threw the ball anyway. The guy caught it in the end zone, and they called it a touchdown, even though the whistle had blown. Then they reviewed it, and they kept the touchdown, which is not the rule.
Wasn't it like a fan whistle?
No, it was the referee's whistle. The referee blew the play dead. The sideline official blew the play dead. So
I vaguely remember it, but I don't remember everything surrounding it. But yeah.
So I'm super excited about that. I can't wait to put that news out, and then
Rich
we'll air the
Bisaccia.
show tonight. But yeah, that's fantastic for the Raiders. We're good. We can move forward with college football, and we can get ready to end the show today. So Wes, some crazy stuff happened, right? UCLA comes out and they put a beating on Colorado. Colorado's offensive line could not stop UCLA's pass rush at all, right? They just beat them up. But that wasn't the worst thing that happened to Colorado this
They
weekend.
got all their jewelry stolen. They got jacked.
So my mom.
How much
always...
jewelry did they have? Like, I want a monetary value here. Like, what do these guys have? Like, they got grills and like diamond chains.
So my mom always told me, don't go flashing nice stuff that you have, because someone's gonna take it.
Especially in LA.
And guess what happened? Colorado and their celebrations, and they're rubbing it into the poor student sections. I'm not saying this is what should have happened. I'm just saying, come on. You're playing a bunch of kids. You're playing against a bunch of kids.
Here's the thing, though. Does the Rose Bowl not have video surveillance?
Oh, I'm sure they'll figure out who did it. But at the same time, not that we're laughing at Colorado, because this shouldn't happen to anyone. You should never have to feel vulnerable and have your stuff stolen. Yeah. But also, under the advice of my mother, don't go flashing all your nice stuff, because someone's going to take it. And sure enough, someone took it. So sorry, Colorado, this happened to you. You should be allowed to have a locker room that is a safe place for all of your stuff, but also maybe don't rub it into the broke-ass Arizona State student section after you win Arizona State with their one win by 2 points. All right? I still stand by Colorado is going to make a bowl game. I think they're going to win 6 games this year. I don't know where they're going to get the last 2 games from. They got a tough schedule, but I do think they're going to do it. How do you feel about that?
I think so, too. I think they'll go 6-6 like I originally predicted.
Yeah.
They have some issues they need to work out, but they're only going to get better. I think a lot of people are like, oh, they were giving him a lot of crap, I think, for like the smack he was talking in his post-game conference or whatever, but it's coach being coach. I mean, did you hear what Dabo Sweeney, the comments he made?
Yeah.
Some guy. So here's the thing. Some guy called in to Clemson.
The religious.
Yeah. Well, and he was like, how do you justify the school paying you $11.5 million for like having 4 losses or whatever? And I'm just sitting here thinking, he won you 2 national championships against the greatest dynasty that we've maybe ever seen in college football. He put Clemson, not just the football program, he put the university on the map. If you had asked me where Clemson was 10 years ago, you asked me where Clemson was, I would have been like, I don't know. Clemsoning was a nickname for when you choke away a game.
Was it a verb, right?
Yeah, it was a verb for choking away a game. It was like, oh, they Clemsoned it. Now, you don't hear that anymore. So that's what he's done. He has put your university on the map. He has earned that school every penny of his $11 million salary and more.
Is a fan of the elites. Not that I disagree with you either on that, but you are just you are a warrior for the elites today. You are going to war.
Was Dabo an asshole about it? Yes, but he was absolutely right in what he said.
All right, so
and he is worth every penny.
We've got an amazing game in every slate this weekend. All right, so how do you feel? Tell me, how do you feel about Chiefs Dolphins this weekend in Germany?
I don't know. Is Patrick Mahomes still have the flu? You lost to the Broncos. They freaking let the Dolphins put up 70. I say the Fins. I think the Chiefs are a paper tiger.
And you have a big game against the Ravens after that with the Seahawks Ravens. How do you feel?
Complete 5th. I don't want to make predictions on that game.
And how do you feel about our last big game of that day, of Sunday? Cowboys-Eagles.
Eagles.
Oh wow, you don't believe? But they win, Wes. But they win. No, we're not going to rehash that. We got to end the show.
Eagles do win.
We got to end the show.
And you know what? I gotta stick with my bird bro. Okay, birds stick together.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Birds of a feather flock together.
But it was funny. Your face gave me the hint that you don't believe in the Cowboys at all.
E-A-G-L-E-S. Eagles, Eagles, Eagles.
Fly. You don't believe
Eagles,
in the Cowboys at all.
Eagles, fly.
And then finally, our last game on Monday night, Josh Allen against Joe Burrow.
Ooh, I didn't even realize this. I haven't really looked at the schedule, so I didn't realize that was the Monday.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good one. That's man, Joe Burrow is finally starting to look like his old self. So I'm going to go with the Bengals.
The Bengals. Okay. All right.
What about you? I'm not getting your opinion here.
Oh, I think the Eagles. I think the Ravens. I think the Dolphins. Eagles, Ravens, Dolphins. But I think it's a better game. I think it's offensive shootout there. And I do think that the Bills are going to beat up on the Bengals this weekend. I think all these teams need.
You know what? Seahawks by 20. Shut up.
Wes, I only think that because they're going to the East Coast. If it was a home game for Seattle, I'd probably say Seattle. It's a home game for Baltimore. Why I said that. I said that because I think these two teams are very evenly matched, and I think that the home field advantage is where I'm going to judge that one. So
we play good on the road.
Yeah, you are good on the road. The defense travels well. Petey's
getting
old.
We got Bo.
UCLA. All right, everybody. We appreciate you joining us each and every week here on The Sad Fan. Remember, you can follow us at The Sad Fan Podcast Network on YouTube. You can also find us on X at The Sad Fan 12 and The Sad Fan Cast. We're also available on TikTok under The Sad Fan 12.
If you think Fry's an idiot, let him know and tell them that Ohio State is a good team.
So again, thank you for adding that context at the end. He thinks I'm an idiot overthinking Ohio State is bad.
Make sure you tell him if you think
we will
he's an idiot.
See you all next week.
Yes.